I may say, man, I start that cat. The return of Errol Spence Jr. versus Australia's Tim Tszyu, or as Jermell Charlo would say, Tim Tszyu, Tim Kazoo. In this video, I will break down Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence, the location for the junior middleweight fight, give you all of the details. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I ain't got no time to waste, so we will get it cracking. We have a fight coming up, and boxing reporter Dan Rayfield says, per sources, Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence Jr. junior middleweight fight being planned for a Sunday afternoon, July 26th in Australia, down under, mate, right? Which means Saturday night in America, July 25th will be the broadcast for the USA, right? Now, Dan Rayfield been covering boxing for a long time. Also, you have this report from Boxing Scene in case you needed more proof. Errol Spence, Tim Tszyu, official for July 25th in Australia. The return from an extended, nearly 3-year absence from prize fighting following a lengthy journey. Boxing Scene confirmed through an official connected to these negotiations, 3-belt welterweight champ Spence will venture to Australia to meet Tim Tszyu. Amazon Prime pay-per-view, and pretty much veteran boxer journalist Dan Rayfield first reported the news. So you have a cosign from a completely different news outlet. Now, the crazy part, and y'all want to stick around to the end of the video because I got a lot to say regarding this. The crazy part about this whole situation with Errol Spence is the level of doubt, right? The level of doubt that this man has received is troubling, puzzling, and really mind-bending. Errol Spence has been a star pupil in boxing. He loses to one guy, Terrence Bud Crawford. And in true boxing fan, fickle fan, fair weather fan fashion, that was a little bit hard to say, fickle fan, fair weather fan fashion. Y'all get it. Y'all say that 3 times fast. Boxing fans have completely written off and turned on Errol Spence. Even me, the great boxing ego, the best in the business, and it's not even close, right? Me making this video, you're going to have people like, no, I won't see, I don't see it happening, and I won't believe it till they're in the ring. I don't care. I'm still going to get paid. So believe whatever you want. I just gave you 3 credible sources. Me, Dan Rayfield, and Lance Pugmire. And the funny thing is, you got fans like this who go to low-quality content makers who lie and clickbait 24/7, desperate for views, and then got the nerve to challenge what I report. Notice there's a lot of things in boxing that I don't report. Some of you guys send it to me, but if there's a reason why. If I haven't made a video about it, there's usually a reason. You know what I mean? So I like it. I like this fight a lot. I am looking forward to the return of Errol Spence. I've enjoyed watching Tim Tszyu fights. Really a crossroads fight for both guys because obvious reasons. Tim Tszyu, he got a couple losses. The Bakram, Murtazaev being the worst. You know, the Fundora rematch loss was pretty bad. The first fight, I don't really hold that against Tim Tszyu. I think that was like a freak accident where Fundora is just tall and slender, and he fights on the inside. So he got his scalp cut open by Fundora's sharp, slender man elbows. So that could happen to anybody fighting someone that tall with that style. So I thought Tim Tszyu was actually looking good in the fight until that happened, and then everything else was out the window after it did happen. So I don't really hold that against Tim Tszyu. Errol, he's had a great career. Now, this is not even the craziest part. It's not the craziest part. But one thing I find funny is the fact that people in the comments will anoint Terrence Crawford and say he's the best. And some even go as far as saying he's on Mount Rushmore. He's not, but that on mine at least. You know what I mean? And that's not a diss. It's just there's too many great fighters from Floyd Mayweather, Ray Robinson, and Muhammad Ali. Mount Rushmore is 4 spots. You know what I mean? So you put what you want on your Mount Rushmore. Roy Jones. I mean, I feel like some people are going to disagree with me. They're going to be like, oh, ego, Roy got beat by that. From 88 to about early 2000, 2003-ish, right after 9/11, Roy was almost unbeatable. And don't tell me Montel Griffin where he was disqualified because we already seen what happened in the rematch. So for me, I would put Roy probably up there. And Crawford, often praised and celebrated. He's definitely one of this generation's best fighters, right? So why is it such a crime that Errol Spence lost to him? A boxing match is one night, up to 36 minutes in a championship fight. Why is it so, why are people so harsh on Errol Spence when he lost to a great fighter? I don't get that at all. And then when we're talking about Tim Tszyu, he lost more times than Errol Spence. Twice he's been stopped, not even including a third loss by Sebastian Fordora, just on the cards though, right? So when I'm talking about this fight, I think it's a really good fight, and I'm not writing off Errol Spence like that. You know what I mean? I feel like he's a grown man. He probably wouldn't come back if he felt he had nothing left. Again, that's just my personal opinion. Like if he was like, man, I'm cooked, I'm not in shape, I'm not hungry, you know what I mean, for this anymore. I like just spending time, I'm domesticated, I want to just spend time with my family. I don't think he would come back. That's my personal opinion. So people are being hard up on Errol. Now, it ain't sweet. Being out the ring 3 years, going through the car wreck, I get it. Like it is an uphill battle. It is an uphill battle for Mr. Spence. But with that being said, I definitely believe that it's still a good even fight because Tszyu has been more active, but he also has more losses, right? He got dropped by Terrell Goucher. So we've seen vulnerabilities there too. Now, so when I look at a fight, I look at it like line by line, point by point, bullet point by bullet point, and I think it's a good fight. As far as the usual suspects, people complaining, boxing is like a cesspool of negativity. Boxing is in a rough spot, right? Where we've gotten pure BS, not really had no great fights this year, right? No real big moments. I mean, Shakur fought Teofimo. To me, that was a good performance, but it wasn't like a legendary fight. I never went back and watched it, put it that way. I watched it when it happened and really had no desire to go back and watch it. That's me personally, right? And then we hear of a great kind of crossroads fight, as I mentioned, with Spence and Tim Tszyu, and people have the nerve to complain. They have the nerve to complain. I told you, that's not my personal take, but fans, they're complaining, talking about, oh man, why is the fight got to be in Australia? And then it'd be like broke fans that you weren't going to the fight no matter where. It could be in the United States. You're not going to the fight no matter what. You know what I mean? You got people like complaining in like TikTok and YouTube or whatever about the location of the fight, but it's like a lot of the people complaining, they weren't going to get credentials anyway, right? if you don't cover fights, or you're not a fan willing to purchase tickets, or you can't get credentials, then who cares where the fight's at if you weren't going to go to it anyway? You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people are merely complaining for the sake of complaining. It's a good fight. It's on Amazon Prime. We know it's going to be promoted right. And for me, I think it's just, I want to see Errol Spence return. And immediately, Jermell Charlo's going against him, saying he'll fight the winner. Jermell saying he's had talks to fight Fundora. So it sets up a lot. It don't look like Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo are as close as we thought. So I feel like the implications for this particular fight are pretty huge in the world of boxing. So I can't wait to see what transpires from it. I don't care if it's in Australia, Vegas. I'm watching it no matter what. Hype my video.